Hi folks, it's Stephen in Exile again. We just finished watching the State of the Union, or to be more precise, the joint session of Congress address by President Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to be looking down because I made notes during the speech. Now, right now in the U.S., you're watching all the talking heads give their analysis of the speech. But just from an American in self-imposed exile, giving my thoughts about what I thought about the speech, I made a few notes. Obviously, let's start with the beginning when President Trump made his entrance into the House chambers. Sheila Jackson Lee, with her little Princess Leia haircut, was nowhere to be found. So, for those of you that have watched all the past State of the Union addresses, wasn't it refreshing not to see Sheila Jackson Lee hanging on the aisle? You know, before, she used to show up hours in advance to get that front aisle spot to shake hands with the president. So right there, Donald Trump has 10 points. Okay? Now, at the beginning of his speech, he checked off his list. A few of the list was the African American community. And then, of course, he had to address the Jewish cemetery situation, where no doubt a Hillary, George Soros, Barack Obama operative, or at least sympathetic to the axis of evil, is responsible for these cemetery desecrations. Make no mistake about it. They will be caught, and then they will be exposed. So, also during the speech, you had to have noticed. Now, Fox News camera work was terrible. It was disingenuous, and it just shows how much in the tank for the establishment that Fox News is in. Because they did not show the Democrats sitting on their hands proposing blue skies and sunshine. More on that in another video. Nancy Pelosi. Oh my God. You talk about job creation, and you would have thought that was a knife through the heart of Nancy Pelosi. The one time Fox News did show expressions of Democrats, that was one of them. Just stone-faced, not going to hear it, doesn't want jobs for Americans. Just not good policy. Another thing I noticed is Senator Joe Manchin. He needs to just go ahead and switch parties. It would have been great, and I was waiting for him to get up, clap, walk across the aisle to the Republican side. You know, Senator Manchin, you wouldn't be the first. Many of senators crossed the aisle when Ronald Reagan was president. Of course, again, I mentioned Fox News. Their camera work was just horrible. The Dems, they have no problem. When President Trump was talking about radical Islamic terror, the Dems were stone-faced when he was talking about fighting them and wiping them off the map. The Dems were stone-faced. Apparently, they don't have a problem with radical Islamic terror. Hell, that's their future constituency. We all know, and Ann Coulter has been pounding and pounding this in. She was one of the first. I've been reading her for years and watching her. She's one of the first in years to talk about how the Democrats have no good ideas they can run on. Instead, they have to change the voters. So, again, the Democrats, you can't get on board with wiping radical Islamic terror off the map. Your true heart, your true intentions are there for the whole world to see. And, of course, Fox News cameras did not dwell on the Democratic side of the aisle enough. So, let's go on to where he pointed at the Democratic Party. I love that. That was great. He called them out. I don't know if all the pundits are talking about it, but that did make a note. Um, Again, the Democrats protecting America, protecting American jobs, protecting Americans in their neighborhoods, protecting Americans from radical Islamic jihadists. Just not a good idea to Democrats. They just sat there stone-faced. I hope you notice that. Now, I want to get into a couple of things real quick where I disagree with Donald Trump on. Mandatory family paid leave, not the government's job. If a company wants to hire, if they think that single mothers or family women with kids are a great idea, let the companies introduce that into the benefits package. The government has no job mandating a workplace relationship between employer and employees. Let the market take care of it. This has been one of my biggest grievances with all this. Republicans are guilty too of all this. Oh, we need to do this. We need to do that. No, we don't. Let the marketplace take care of it. Also, we want to talk about how, the obvious. Who did not have tears in their eyes when Donald Trump was talking about the Navy SEAL Brian Owens? If you didn't have a tear in your eye, you're a heartless son of a bitch. That's all I can say. I felt so bad for his widow. And it's so unfortunate that Brian Williams' father is trying to become the new Cindy Sheehan. He's being pumped up by the Democrats, by George Soros, Barack Obama, and the rest of that crew. He is being pumped up to become the next Cindy Sheehan. And it is a disgrace. It is a disgrace to the honor that his son fought and died for. His son had honor. His dad is just becoming a political pawn. Where's Cindy Sheehan today, you might ask? Who knows? Who cares? She was a useful idiot. She was used by the Democrats to slam George Bush, to pound over his head for 6 years. Now, where's Cindy Sheehan? She's probably got some foundation that she's using for a personal slush fund. I don't know. I don't care. Folks, it was a great speech overall, but I am just astounded by the two things I've talked about. One, Fox News being disingenuous in their coverage, and I'm talking about the camera coverage. Every American should have had the opportunity to just see what the Democratic Party was and their attitudes towards anything good. It can't be good if it's a Republican proposing it. That's not the way for governance to work, but it is the way the Democrats work. And then two, again, enough with the government programs and the government mandates. You know, you want in, I'll talk about this in another video very soon. You want to bring down the cost of medicine, you want to bring down the cost of drugs. Two words, tort reform. I'll get into that in the next video. Folks, this is Stephen in exile. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of this, and maybe it might have made you think a little bit of something different than what the pundits are talking about. Thanks for watching.